First at 5. From the University of Florida's College of Journalism and Communications, you're watching WUFT News.
Welcome to WUFT News, First at 5. I'm Macie Goldfarb.
And I'm Brenna DeLong. Thanks for joining us. President Joe Biden is in Poland, ground zero for the humanitarian crisis spilling over from Russia's war against Ukraine.
On this trip, he heard refugee stories, visited U.S. troops, and made deals with Europe to further isolate Russia. Alice Barr reports from Washington.
President Biden in Poland today, ground zero for the humanitarian crisis spilling over from Ukraine. The president visiting with U.S. troops who are bolstering defenses in NATO-allied territory, telling them they're defending freedom.
What you're engaged in is much more than just whether or not you can alleviate the pain and suffering of the people of Ukraine. We're in a new phase.
Also meeting with Poland's president and with aid workers supporting the more than 2 million Ukrainians seeking safety in Poland. President Biden promising more help and doubling down on his accusations against Russian President Vladimir Putin.
A man who, I quite frankly, think is a war criminal.
The U.S. compiling evidence of Russian attacks on civilians, including this theater turned shelter in Mariupol, where Ukraine now says roughly 300 people were killed. President Biden set to deliver a major address tomorrow on the state of the war. And while expressing disappointment he can't safely travel into Ukraine, he will meet with refugees in Poland to hear their stories firsthand, like this mother who fled to save her young son.
He asked me, Mom, will I see my birthday in August or no? Will I be alive? And I didn't know what to say to him.
The president has promised to let 100,000 Ukrainian refugees into the U.S. and pledged an additional $1 billion in humanitarian aid. In Washington, Alice Barr, NBC News.
A teenager is dead after falling from a new 430-foot ride in Orlando's Icon Park, an attraction off International Drive. The ride is billed as the world's tallest freestanding drop tower, launching those on board at speeds over 75 miles per hour. A 14-year-old from Missouri somehow fell out a few seconds into the drop. The ride had been open for a few months but is now closed indefinitely while authorities investigate what happened.
Because of gun violence at this year's spring break in Miami Beach, some alcohol sales will stop at 6 before the midnight curfew this weekend. The initiative is part of an effort to reduce dangerous and illegal activities over spring break. The 6 p.m. limit is for the sale of alcohol off-premises consumption. Bars and restaurants can still serve later. City officials say the emergency rules may be repeated next Thursday through Sunday as well. After a wet couple of days, it seems like the sunshine has just returned.
I know, I put my umbrella away and I am so happy the rain is gone. WUFT's Zoey Robinson joins us now with the weather forecast. How's it looking outside, Zoey?
I'm so glad the rain is gone as well. Gorgeous conditions, plenty of sunshine out there, a few clouds out to our east and west, but nonetheless looking great. Temperatures outside campus sitting in the low 70s, a comfortable 72 degrees. It is a little bit breezy though, but most of that wind is from the north-northwest, so feeling quite comfortable across our area. Temperatures in the low 70s. As far as winds, a little breezy right now, but it'll die off as we head into the rest of tonight and into the overnight hours. So calm conditions. If you have any fun Friday night plans or evening ventures outside, weather's looking good. Cool and comfortable conditions sitting in the upper 60s around dinner time. After that, if you're headed out, maybe bring a light jacket. Temperatures dropping into the 50s. I'll have the rest of the forecast coming up after the break. Back to you.
Alachua County officials are demanding better compliance by stores selling electronic cigarettes. This comes after the efforts of a county program that sent minors to 158 stores to buy tobacco products and discovered more than 50 violations. Alachua County says its list is incomplete because a new state law stopped the operation. Last year, a new law prevented counties and cities from setting the legal age for tobacco products, but the law did uniformly raise the age from 18 to 21. Some stores say they take the age mandate seriously.
We ID everybody who comes into our store. My boss makes it a point that we follow Alachua County laws and ID everyone to make sure that they are 21 and over.
Some county leaders are upset the FDA rarely checks up on local stores. Records show just 9 store inspections in Gainesville since 2015. Most of the stores were warned, a couple were fined. Do you know someone from the international community who's still learning to speak English?
If yes, let them know Gainesville is moving forward with the translation program to hire interpreters to help non-English speakers. The plan looks to create a position for an immigration liaison. This person would advocate for the international community. A language line service would also be created. People would be able to call and have someone translate their conversation with police officers, healthcare providers, or any other services they might solicit. The startup cost is estimated at $316,000.
I think this is foundational. I think we start with these language access services and then we look at how we can expand programs to the community and really start to host more of an international feel to the city.
An informational meeting for those interested in knowing more about the program next Tuesday, March 29th at 3 p.m. at Matheson History Museum. You can register through Eventbrite by going to the link you see on the screen. The Survivors of Violence art exhibit reception that was supposed to take place earlier this year has been rescheduled for the second week of April.
That's right. The leaders have also extended the deadline for submission until March 31st. What you're seeing right now are photos from prior artists in regards to the upcoming art exhibit. Alachua County Community Support Services, Victim Services, and Rape Crisis Center invites survivors of violence to contribute original artwork. If you're interested, you can fill out an application online. The event will be held at the Harn Museum of Art from Tuesday, April 12th to Sunday, April 17th. Former Marjory Stoneman Douglas students have taken over DC's National Mall. We'll tell you why.
Ex-President Donald Trump is filing a lawsuit. We'll tell you who he's going against coming up on WUFT News, first at 5.
You're watching WUFT TV News.
Fake body bags covered Washington, D.C.'s National Mall Thursday to mark 4 years since March for Our Lives held its first rally for gun control legislation. The art installation of more than 1,100 bags spelled out the words, "Thoughts and Prayers." Each bag represents 150 people killed by guns since the 2018 school shooting in Parkland, Florida. March for Our Lives leader David Hogg says they hope the display sends a message to Congress to pass more gun laws.
Florida Governor Ron DeSantis is expected to sign the latest elections bill. Among other things, it will prevent election officials from accepting private funding or free legal assistance. There were GOP suspicions last time about private money funding official elections outreach events that may have been one-sided. The Florida bill only allows the private donation of space for a precinct to operate. Critics say it will stop pro bono legal work, which election supervisors rely on. The bill will also create a new statewide office to investigate potential elections violations.
Former President Donald Trump filed a federal lawsuit against Hillary Clinton and the Democratic National Committee over, quote, Russiagate. The civil suit claims Clinton and others hired lawyers and researchers to fabricate evidence of Trump-Russia collusion during the 2016 election. Trump accuses former FBI Director James Comey and others of conspiring against him. The lawsuit was filed in federal court in Florida.
Yesterday, New York City suddenly reversed course on its vaccine mandate for city-based pro athletes, artists, and performers. Critics say the new mayor caved with NBA playoffs and the start of the Major League Baseball season looming. Reporter Andrew Siff found this reaction to yesterday's announcement.
We're doing it because the city has to function.
Mayor Eric Adams today at Citi Field, lifting a vaccine rule that would have prevented any unvaccinated home players from participating.
Some people will boo us, but there are also those who would be employed and would cheer us.
Among those booing, unions, after 1,400 municipal workers got fired for failure to get vaccinated. The sanitation workers said there can't be one system for the elite and another for the essential workers of our city. Police unions also furious.
Why is a basketball player allowed to play basketball, but a cop that's going to save people's lives or a detective that's going to save people's lives has to be vaccinated? It does not make common sense.
Also pushing back some lawmakers, citing a double standard.
It's setting up two classes of people, and it's fundamentally unfair.
But the sports teams are thrilled.
I want to thank you, Mayor Adams, for making this courageous decision.
Now able to stop the speculation about whether stars like Aaron Judge or Jacob deGrom have been vaccinated. Both have been vague a week before opening day, while Nets star Kyrie Irving has publicly admitted he's not vaccinated.
Kyrie, you should get vaccinated.
The mayor saying his health outlook hasn't changed, but the city's bottom line did when out-of-town players could play while the hometown heroes could not.
But this new order would help boost our economy.
A key question is whether it opens up a legal can of worms. A former medical advisor to the previous mayor told me Adams's plan may trigger lawsuits.
When you start making carve-outs for certain types of activity like basketball players or baseball players, it really opens up a loophole that judges will immediately recognize and potentially invalidate the entire rule.
Do you think we will see any rain this weekend?
I hope not. I'm really enjoying the sunshine.
I'm really enjoying the sunshine as well. I think we'll be good. Take a look. After that cold front passed, a swath of dry air behind it. I'll have the rest of the forecast coming up in just a minute.
You're watching WUFT-TV News.
Well, after a pretty wet couple of days, the weather looking gorgeous today on a perfect Friday. Temperatures sitting comfortably in the low 70s, plenty of sunshine, just a few clouds in the sky. A little bit breezy though, but that wind mainly from the north and northwest, feeling quite comfortable. We had that cold front pass through the past couple of days, and that's why we saw all of that rain, but behind it, beautiful dry air making for that picture perfect sky, and with that, comfortable temperatures sitting in the low 70s pretty much all across our area. And dew points right behind that, with those dew points in the low 40s to upper 50s in some places, looking good. That's why it's feeling so comfortable. As we head through the rest of the evening, temperatures will continue to drop off into the low 40s overnight with clear skies, so great night if you had any Friday night plans. Lows sitting in about the mid 40s, about 47 in Gainesville, 48 in Stark, 47 in High Springs, 47 down in Ocala along the Nature Coast, sitting closer to the 50s. As we head throughout the next couple of days, like I said, goodbye to the rain and hello to the sunshine. Gorgeous conditions both on Saturday and Sunday. Comfortable temperatures. Great day to maybe go for a walk, bring the dog, looking gorgeous, and that's all from this jet stream. It's sinking south from that area of low pressure with that cold front attached. We're getting a more northwesterly wind. That's why it's cool and comfortable. Then it'll begin to shift as we head throughout the next couple of days, but before that, we're looking great. It's been a little bit of wet weather though the past couple of days. It accumulated almost 3 to 4 inches in our western and northwesterly areas near Lake City and Gainesville, and lighter rainfall totals down south in Marion County. It's actually the second wettest March on record, and we could even be the wettest March if this rain on Thursday sticks out as we see it. Temperatures rising into the mid 80s in the rest of the week, but before that, clear skies, gorgeous conditions. Temperatures falling into the 50s during the lows at night. Now to Peggy Cosgrove with a look at what's coming up with sports.
Coming up in sports, the Gators look to extend their winning streak against the Tigers.
You're watching WUFT-TV News.
Welcome to sports. I'm Peggy Cosgrove. On the diamond, the 8th-ranked Gator baseball team will host number 21 LSU tonight for the beginning of a 3-game series. Entering the contest, Gator outfielder Judd Fabian has amassed 42 home runs in his career. That puts him in sole possession of 6th place on Florida's all-time home run list. Fabian says this team is a confident group, and they are expecting to do well against the Tigers this weekend.
We're expecting to win. This is a confident group. We have 2 days of practice before we play them on Friday, so we're gonna really go into these 2 practices with a great focus and mindset going into the weekend.
The first pitch is set for 7 p.m. The 6th-ranked Florida softball team is stepping back into SEC action this weekend, hosting a 3-game series against number 15, Tennessee. The Gators already have 11 shutouts on the season after defeating Stetson on the road earlier this week. In shutouts, this team ranks 1st in the SEC and 8th nationally. Freshman Kendra Falby leads the way with 41 hits on the year. She also is part of the reason that the Gators rank 2nd in stolen bases, as she is 22 of 24 on the year. First pitch is set for 6 p.m. In Gator football, spring practice is back in full swing. Starting defensive lineman Jervon Dexter explains how the new coaching staff and head coach Billy Napier has eased the team into what he expects for this upcoming season.
This is how it's going to be, and then the next phase it got a little bit more, and then now we at spring, so now we know what to expect from him and his staff. So it wasn't like he just came in and just dumped everything on top of us. He kind of broke each thing down in phases, and that's what really been good for us.
Spring practice will continue tomorrow.
Thank you, Peggy.
Now let's take a look at the latest on entertainment.
It's time for another dose of entertainment news. I am Ariana Psarakos, and I'm here to fill you in on a once-in-a-lifetime Airbnb experience. Who wants to take a trip to Miami and be hosted by Bad Bunny? I know I do. The worldwide lighting sensation is inviting you to stay at his Airbnb. The Teboté singer, who is bringing his El Último Tour del Mundo to Miami, has opened the doors to his 53-foot custom-designed truck. You can only rent for 1 night at a time from April 6th to 8th, and it will cost you about $90 per night. Now, if you ask me, that is a great price for an Airbnb in Miami. The lucky ones to rent the truck will receive VIP tickets to a Miami show. The custom Airbnb will go live Monday at 1. Amanda Bynes is finally free. The former Nickelodeon star's conservatorship has come to an end after 9 years. Her parents started in 2013 when she was experiencing personal issues. The Amanda show star started pushing to end her conservatorship after Britney Spears' famous case reached an end last year. Can't wait to see what both stars will do next. Hopefully, we'll get a new album or a new movie. I am Ariana Psarakos, and that wraps up today's dose of entertainment news. Hope to see you next time.
Thank you, Ariana. Before we go, I wonder if I'll need to bring my jacket outside this weekend.
I heard the temperature's gonna be cool, but for me that just means really cold. What do you think, Zoe?
It'll get a little cool, but there'll be plenty of sunshine to keep temperatures warm. The rain will be gone, so that's great news. All throughout this weekend, temperatures sitting in the low 70s during the afternoon, but it could get a little bit chilly in the overnight hours, and that's all aided from our jet stream dipping down across the state, and with that, northwesterly winds flowing through our area, so we're getting this cool continental air that's really going to help to make it feel a little bit chillier in our overnight hours. Take a look. The lows could be sitting in the upper 40s in the weekend and into the early work week, with rising temperatures in the afternoon, seeing a gradual warming trend into the mid-80s by Wednesday, and our next shot at rain on Thursday when the next system passes. Back to you.
Thanks, Zoe. BBC World News is next, and the PBS News Hour is coming up at 7.
But your Florida news is always on at WUFT.org. Have a good night.